Hey, tonight we're just going to get right into it. So, here we go. After an afternoon of consumerism at the Albrook Mall with Chris and the professor's daughter, I walk away pockets lighter, but with a new digital camera, cell phone, and a Casio watch named the Illuminator. Timepieces of my past usually suffer their end through obscene accidents such as flying out of a hoodie pocket, but I'm confident in the Illuminator's plastic-on-plastic construction, and hopeful of its ability to hold off any type of liquid situation I might present it with. Accessorized, Chris and I joined some acquaintances of one of his roommates back in DC for dinner at a fine establishment. Between our dinner guests, Aaron is the more established in Panama, working with a real estate company for the past couple of months, but he doesn't allow the table much more after the basics. His friend, Derek, is tired of his information management job in New York. He had been visiting Aaron for 2 weeks, hoping to find a similar type job in a Panamanian hospital. Not long after formalities, my heart sinks as I prod for my newly purchased camera pocketed front left, only to feel absence. I excuse myself, answering my brother's question of departure with a one-word answer: camera. I jog back to where Chris and I were waiting for our dinner guests before walking to the restaurant, a casino 4 blocks north. Diving directly into the couch cushions where I had been sitting 20 minutes prior, I come up empty-handed. For confirmation purposes, I ruffle through another couch. Before too long, a hotel clerk of great height asks in decent English what I'm looking for. Doing my best to describe my just-purchased black Samsung camera, he says they have it. However, it's going to take time to retrieve it. Only then do the lights and sounds of the casino swell back into my consciousness. 20 minutes later, understanding the gentleman most likely retrieved my camera from its eventual path to the black market, I palm him a 10 upon both their return, and am quickly on my way back to dinner to enjoy my filet. I wish I could say more for the steak, but alas, it looks more like an overcooked ribeye with the only seasoning coming from a pinch of salt. The dinner with Aaron and Derek also debuts what I would come to expect of a salad for the duration of my travels. A few pieces of drabby-looking lettuce, along with slices of cucumbers and tomatoes. Salad dressing need not apply. Derek shows interest in Chris and mine's first planned trip out to the Darien the next day, and we're happy to have him. Me for the company, Chris for an extra set of hands that he doesn't have to pay. Dinner ends with instructions for Derek to meet us at a downtown mall at 2 in the afternoon, where we will then board a bus destined for the Darien. Leaving in pairs, we each go our separate directions. The January night air is warm and moist. Chris and I walk a couple jagged blocks alongside palm trees and quiet residences before hailing a cab that will take us to the night's main event, the professor's birthday dinner. The 5-minute cab ride allows me to confusedly add minutes to my new Mobile networked cell phone. The majority of citizens in Panama have a pay-as-you-go plan, favoring the purchasing of minutes via cards as opposed to a monthly rate. This completely has to do with the fact that in Panama, you only get charged minutes if you are the caller, in turn not getting docked usage when receiving a call or text. After finally punching my way into Mobile's network, Chris lists off some last-minute instructions before our arrival. Listen up. The host, in this case the professor, will serve everyone food. Do not get your own food. She will let you know when the food is finally prepared and will invite you up when she is ready. I feel like I'm 16 and being lectured by my father. Chris certainly has the tone right. Got it, I reply. There's going to be dancing, he continues. You and me both know that we suck in this category, but all that they care about is if you try. Be a good sport and try. Most likely, the professor will have some of her other professor friends over, so do the cute thing and ask the old ladies to dance, and the young ones will notice. Yep. The professor's daughter's sister is dating a Mexican. For some reason unknown to me, and I'm sure you, this is a big deal on the wrong end of things, so stay out of it. Next, the professor's house is kind of the neighborhood pound for cats, so just be prepared to see some cats. They aren't mutated or anything, are they? I ask. Not the ones I've seen. Finally, never pay more than $3 for a cab ride in the city. And with that, the car stops and Chris hands the cabbie $2. Roughly in our clothes, we both do final checks on our attire. I'm not in my number one party-going outfit by any means, but my pocketed blue polo and tech green cargo pants should work. Chris is stretching his 5'8" frame in a sporty check button-up and jeans. The professor's house is a one-story bungalow with a roof that extends from the main structure over the driveway and tool shed. Plants, both potted and garden grown, sprout from every available open space not being taken up by concrete. 3 flood lamps provide the driveway / the night's dining room and dance floor illumination with just the right amount to create an intimate scene. Most of the guests have already arrived, giving them opportunity to watch the brothers Gringo enter. The professor's daughter greets the two of us and ushers us into the house where I meet the professor, an obvious elder version of her daughter. The professor moves with grace and patience, something of note considering this whole shindig is on her watch. She's wearing a stylish, flowing red dress that drifts to her ankles and has labored her faded black hair into a ponytail. Through a couple translations, I'm told to just relax. Doing as told, I saunter about the residence and can't help but notice the cats. There had been a couple roaming outside when we entered the property, but now, on top of every shelf, embedded in every couch cushion, sprawled about the kitchen counters, and lounging on top of the toilet are cats. I have no issue with cats. I'm strictly astonished at the number. I ask for a definitive count, and the professor's daughter gives it to me. 42. I'm told to not even look in the cat room. Gawking, I follow the professor's daughter back outside to the circle of chairs that are surrounding the table that will eventually support the food for the evening. Once in the presence of others, I shut my mouth so no one thinks I'm taking liberal observations of the professor's daughter, who is once again steeping with sexiness in white short shorts and a low-cut beige top. To make sure her breasts receive maximum attention, the option to lace up the garment's front opening has been forfeited, allowing the ties to lay limp around her collarbones. Lounging in the warm evening, all of us sit in anticipation that the food is nearly ready. I stick close to my brother for all translation purposes. Laughter from the group overpowers the frisky crickets. Finally, the professor appears, carrying a dish of food, only to return into the house for another. This happens 3 times. When all the food is finally brought out, she extends her arm in my direction, and with her fingers outstretched and palms facing up, lifts her hand. Controlled by the gesture, I rise from my seat and take my place standing at the buffet table, glancing at the professor each time before adding more food to my plate as if to ask, "Is this okay?" The professor offers a mayonnaise bottle towards my plate, and before I can think of a polite way to say no, I say todo, or everything. As instructed, the professor tops my potatoes and turkey salad with the creamy white goo. I keep my neutral face throughout consumption, only smiling once completely finished. A full bottle of beer does its job, as its specific mission was solely to help wash down the beloved condiment. Chris nods at me in approval, aware of my struggles. Over his time in Panama, Chris has ingested many a mayonnaise meal and understands the condiment hell my stomach is going through. Finished, I watch mayonnaise-drenched food being consumed from others' plates. As the night moves forward, the brothers' Meyer focus has turned to the beer supply, leaving the wine and hard liquor to other guests. Multiple Balboas, Panama's Budweiser, are emptied, proving itself as an alcoholic liquid substance, but nothing more. In 3 different occasions on consuming Balboa, I've probably drank around 25 beers, and not once felt even a buzz or enjoyed the flavor. It's not until the professor's daughter and her friend, Ara Lorena, start in on the tequila that the party picks up. A stereo appears from the garage, and with the press of a button, the reggaeton begins. Originated in Panama in the early 1990s, reggaeton combines over 13 types of music into one awful sound. But as my brother says, the girls sure love to dance to this shit. And dance they do. The professor's daughter and Ara Lorena start doing what they are born to do as Latin women, shake their hips and mesmerize all males who are brave enough to watch and feel they can resist. They are the sirens of Panama, trading operatic voices and surf-riddled rocks for hips and concrete. Weak Americans, my brother and I give in, slowly rising from our chairs to meet our temptresses. Should someone look closely, they would find cartoonish black and red swirls in our eyes. Stos? No answer. Stos. Chris. Huh, yeah? How do I ask, would you like to dance? Hacer quiere bailar. Bailar is the verb for to dance. You need to learn that one. After repeating it a few times to myself, I close the final steps to my wanted maiden of rhythm and motion, and my invitation is accepted. Abreast of one another on the dance floor, my brother and the professor's daughter are of equal height, but my partner for the night, Ara Lorena, stops a full foot from where I stand at 6'1". Peering down, her straight black hair hangs past her shoulders, and a smooth, near-featureless face leaves the giving of emotion to her sharp eyebrows. Dark blue jeans wear her more than she them, accounting for every curve from her calves to hips. Our Lorena's velvety top is a creamy fuchsia and hangs comfortably over her smallish breasts. The gyrating begins, and entertainment is being had by all that watch. It's not the first time I've danced with someone much shorter than me, but it's the first time to this type of music. My squatting to even out our difference in height only gets me criticism and hand swats by the gallery. Our Lorena, in Spanish I do not understand but get the gist of, wants me to straighten up, leaving her nose centered on the bottom of my rib cage. This position is awkward to me, but I give it a shot, trying to focus on moving my feet as fast as possible. Oh, the laughs, the knee slapping. In between songs, the girls ease my brother and me into tequila shots, breaking my personal ban on the substance. Happy and amused, I finally take a break for a few rounds, opening the dance floor to the professor's 3 colleagues, who instinctively reach for the young Latin males present. Motions I don't care to see again in my life are exercised, and I make a mental note that no matter how drunk I get, I will not dance with one of these ambitious women. 3 more shots of tequila later, I'm dancing with not 1, but 2, hoping to learn something, anything. They opt for the bodies separated, loosely held hand approach to break me in, a tactic I favor over the grinding that I witnessed earlier. I like to think I'm progressing, but by the time Chris and me begin saying our goodbyes, I feel more like a jester than a prince. I had fun, and I'm pretty sure my dance partners had fun, so what's not to enjoy? The professor's daughter and Aura Lorena insist on driving us back to our hotel, and after 10 minutes of discussion we finally give in. The professor's daughter and my brother sit up front, and I open the rear door for Aura Lorena, squeezing in behind her. I'm attracted to Aura Lorena. I was before I got drunk, a telltale sign of her beauty. But a lesson that I have learned, and will actually practice this night, keeps me from placing my hand on her leg. The lesson is this, compliments of my early 20s. Don't dick around too soon after ending a relationship, no matter what side of it you're on. Megan is still swirling in my head, and anything attempted or done tonight would be in half spite. Chris flips his head from the passenger seat and says, "Stos, give her your phone so she can put her number in it." I offer it innocently, and Aura Lorena accepts my Nokia, punching in her number with manicured nails. By the time she's finished, we've arrived at the Hotel California. I kiss her on the cheek and exit the car. In departure, Chris and the professor's daughter do their weird eye thing with maneuvering chins. Some code for we're going to have crazy sex later, but not tonight. Giving a brief wave to Aura Lorena, I wonder if I'll ever call her. Probably not. Stumbling, Chris and I collect our key and take the 3 flights of stairs to our room, collapsing on the bed. "You had it, little bro," he says. Looking up at the ceiling, I answer, "I know. But I didn't want it. I take that back. I wanted it. But I didn't need it. I think I follow. You want first shower? Dibs. I just said you could have the first shower. Oh, right. Yeah, I'll take it. Damn, you might have done her a favor by staying away tonight." Page break. Next day.